Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Triton Gaming Expo. We have our top four for our Splatoon 2 tournament. I think we have another good matchup here. Mizuno, tell us a little bit about this matchup here.
Boy, well, we're coming in hot. This is again top cut. These are the top four teams that have made it through the Swiss stage of our tournament is insane. We have on not on stream. We have FT Win and UK Mafia battling it out, and we have Arctic Moon and It's the Viller right here on stream. If you were at the previous and if you were watching on the Swiss stage, It's the Viller had a crazy matchup against Knights of Queen. And Arctic Moon, we know is a very strong, familiar team, one of the top teams in the community. We are going to have like a bloodbath here from DRF, and I am here for it.
Honestly, yeah. These are two of the best teams in the Splatoon community. Arctic Moon is a very well-established Division 1 team, basically borderline Division X, I would say, because I think they might be undefeated in Division 1 right now. And it's the Villa consisting of a variety of players from Division X and Division 1. So this is gonna be absolutely wild. So here we go. Our top four is live. Game number one, Sturgeon Shipyard Tower Control. Taking a look at these compositions, what do you see, Mizuno?
I see Arctic Moon running the tent, and I am also here for that. Love seeing tents on teams. And we see It's the Villa running, if again, back in their Swiss stage in the previous round, they're running pretty much the same comp that they were before. So lots of familiarity with them, and they just mechanical skill and knowledge is not a factor here. It's mostly their decision making, their plays, and their calls. So we're gonna see a kind of a reset here in a very neutral stage for both teams as they kind of take a few down with them, and a very neutral set right now.
I find it funny that it took 45 seconds before either team managed to even get on the tower for a second there. So now it's gonna be It's the Villa that gets first control of the tower, and they're gonna be able to push us all the way to 81 points remaining. The Booyah Bomb gonna put a stop to that very quickly though, and 81 points is what they're gonna have to settle for now. Cool Dude under this bridge with the Nautilus, gonna try to avoid Villy, but Villy just absolutely amazing with that end zap, but gets shut down by the hammer. My goodness, that's two down. Make it three on the side of It's the Viller. And Arctic Moon finally has the numbers to try to get a push of their own, but first they gotta reset this tower.
Sevilla being a little hasty with their pushes here. Just they're trying to start something, getting a push going, and they've been stopped by Arctic Moon multiple times, and now Arctic Moon is swinging the other way, starting a push of their own. We see Twig with the K-Gal on top of that spinner there, a very crucial spot to hold. We see a Booyah coming out from Twig as well, putting on a lot of pressure, and we already see Arctic Moon taking the lead here. I'm curious how It's the Villa is going to get this 10 out of their window here. This is a very dangerous position, and TGEX takes one down with him too. This is a very dangerous spot, and they're already at the second checkpoint here, DRF, and this is not looking good for It's the Villa.
Oh yeah, this is one of those maps where that second checkpoint is a great indicator of how much trouble you're in, and that is exactly the case as Arctic Moon with a dominant knockout there after, you know, a little bit coming out of the gates a little bit slow there in the first minute or two, but completely dominated there in their one and only push, really.
Wow, pretty much. It's the Villa could have really. That tent was a huge threat to them, already distracting so many of them. And that tower is like it's like butter. Once it starts going after that second checkpoint on Sturgeon, it just doesn't stop. So that was a very scary game for It's the Villa. Probably they need to wake up after that and hopefully get something going here, because that's already one game down just like that. That game was done in what, 2 minutes? That was really
Yeah.
worrisome there for It's the Villa, and I'm curious how they're going to play against the tent if TGEX continues to use it in a map like Albacore Clams.
Honestly, yeah, and Albacore Clams is a pretty interesting map mode. It's a far less traditional one that you'll that you would see in map pools. It's a very just long open map, and close combat is not as much of an option here. So It's the Villa has been relying a little bit more on, playing aggressively, playing a little bit more in your face. But they're gonna have to, up the aggression or rely a little bit more on the backlines. Because it's hard playing aggressive. You either need to be like ultra aggressive, like take it to a whole new level, or lay back a little bit because there's so many just great sniping points on New Albuquerque Hotel.
I absolutely agree with you on this one, DRF. And you talk about how long of a map this is. Not to mention, this map is bridged by those grates. Get what I did there? Those grates are such a huge trouble point where these aggressive slayers, these frontline weapons, these guns have such a hard time. I do like the play here from It's the Villa to bring a K-Gal into this, and maybe a little bit of change in this composition might help a bit, and maybe they're able to get a good couple pushes in against Arctic Moon.
Yeah, so, I mean, here we go, out of the gate already. Arctic Moon gonna see their Squiffer player going down. Squiffer, once again, an interesting pick, but I think it definitely works on this map mode. And both teams in mid scrambling to pick up some clams and some kills while they are at it. But nobody really getting an immediate advantage from the looks of it.
Yes, it's just a lot of back and forth, kind of testing the waters here. I do see Arctic Moon's K-Gal getting really aggressive, coming all the way around into It's the Villa's own street, basically. You do see two go down on It's the Villa, which is a little concerning to them because Arctic Moon is quickly sweeping through mid right now, and Kiwi's kind of left here all by themselves, trying to fend off the Squiffer, and I'm just curious how they're gonna It's the Villa is gonna retake mid as Arctic Moon is putting on a lot of pressure now.
Yeah, absolutely. And Arctic Moon gonna get first points on the board. So they're gonna have to, with that wipe though, they're gonna have to settle for 1 power clam plus 2 little clams there, bringing them to 74 points remaining. So it's an okay push. It's not the strongest of pushes, but Kiwi already ready with a power clam of their own, and here comes the second power clam. But no, it gets shut down. The Booyah Bomb gonna be coming out on the side of
And they got it in.
Oh, and they did get that extra power clam in. That's going to bring it down to 60 points remaining. But that is going to be the end of this push. Although Kiwi's going to try to get an extra point in. And they do get it. That's going to keep the basket open for about 3 seconds longer. And that's going to bring the score down to 57 points remaining. And they're going to have to settle for that. But I think that's a pretty solid push.
Wow, that happened so quickly. It's the Villa was on the, they were on the button on that one. And what a great play by their K-Gal to booyah and make room to grab that extra clam, because that will matter in the long run. We do see TGEX already breaking the basket with a clam, and they missed another throw of the ball. Oh, that was harsh. They do get it back though, and they score the lead. And It's the Villa is 3 down, so that gives Arctic Moon an extra chance to also pick up a couple more clams.
And they have the clams to win it, and here it is! That's the win! And Arctic Moon gonna be taking a quick 2-0 lead in this semi-finals set.
Wow! Again, this praise the tent, essentially. Led the charge. They were on the button when it comes to transitioning from defense to offense. They are incredibly quick with that. The moment the basket closes and just drops back down again, they were already popping it and they were ready to go with clams. And I don't know what happened to It's the Villa's defense in that map. I was too distracted by the offense from Arctic Moon personally, but that was another knockout from Arctic Moon, and It's the Villa. Now they have to reverse sweep if they want a chance to make it to Grands.
Yeah. And I guess, and speaking of that, let's take a moment to talk a little bit about the prizing as these teams ready up for game number 3. So this tournament is sponsored by Turtle Beach and Rock Hat. We are so grateful to have them on board with us. And these teams are playing for a nice prize package featuring some Recon 500 headsets and the new Cone Pro mouse. But you need to get into grand finals if you want a shot at either of those prizes, plus a little bit more from our sponsors.
So very high stakes here, which is very uncommon for a Splatoon tournament, which is why you're seeing, some of the best teams in the whole community battling it out here. Like, no mercy for either of these teams. So we're gonna have to see a very intense Wahoo Zones match here, and see if It's the Villa can maybe come back here and get a chance to go to Grands.
Yeah, and out of the gate though, it's the Villa with a nice delayed wipe and gets that jump in as well. I think that is a huge first push for It's the Villa. They're going to be able to bring this all the way down to probably about 50 points remaining before, really having to worry about this zone flipping.
That was a fantastic wipe from on the side of It's the Villa, because it's very hard in this map to come back when this is a surprisingly long map, and it's very hard to get back into it. And we see It's the Villa holding really strong here, and they might get it. I think that's another delayed wipe there, DRF.
That is, and at this point, they are looking for the knockout, and they might just about get it with 2 more going down on the side of Arctic Moon. Arctic Moon in desperation mode at this point. The inkjet goes down, and It's the Villa gonna have a very clean 100-0 knockout and stay alive in this tournament, forcing a game number 4.
Okay, well, It's the Villa just woke up. Good morning. What? That just came out of nowhere. That was essentially 3 sequential delayed wipes in a row from It's the Villa. I don't know what happened to Arctic Moon there. They just kept going down. What happened?
I have no idea, to be quite honest. That was just, they got the early kills and then they managed to push up, and they never let Arctic Moon get back together, because Arctic Moon was staggered that entire time after that first wipe. As soon as that first jump came in from the tent, and they managed to, shut down the tent when it jumped in, that was it. The game was over. They were already staggering. They just Arctic Moon never came back together as a unit and managed to push. And It's the Villa, their positioning was just way too strong. Didn't even let Arctic Moon drop, from their spawn and get remotely close to this zone.
You're right. It's the Villa perfectly punished. That's those staggered respawns. It's very common as teams, as they're respawning and jumping in. Those staggered delays means that the team will have a much more difficult time reuniting and forcing a push out. When you're already 2 or 3 down, it's hard to make a comeback to the zone when you don't have your full team ready with specials, guns a-blazing, when you're only just a couple people. So you're right, that It's the Villa they basically perfectly punished that jump there, and that jump was the biggest mistake from Arctic Moon, and now we have a game 4 to prove that It's the Villa is not going to let this go easily.
Yeah, and it's gonna be Anchovy Games Rainmaker. So
God.
This one is another fun one. This one is probably a little bit more difficult to try to score knockout, but if you could get about 60, 70 points on the board, that's usually a good winning push. And it's probably going to be whoever can get to that score first is going to run away with this. Arctic Moon already having the Stingray out in the first 10 seconds of the game. What on earth what is this?
He's such a menace.
Yeah, but It's the Villa is the one that's going to get this first push here. It is a little bit of a slow push out of the gate. The special is already all coming out on the side of Arctic Moon. And here comes the Ray to try to shut this Rainmaker down, and finally they get it down with 68 points remaining, and that's going to be 3 down on the side of It's the Villa, so that's going to conclude their push. But it does seem like somebody is still in their spawn, and they managed to clean it up, but not before the rest of It's the Villa's team can get back in the game.
Arctic Moon's choice to bring the dual Squelcher. As much as I hate it, it's a smart bring with that GG Ray that we all know and love. The long range capabilities to hold defense against. It's going to be very hard for It's the Villa to continuously push when there's that constant, consistent Stingray pressure, whether it's offense or defense.
Absolutely, and now Arctic Moon getting 2 players down on the side of Viller. And they're going to take this far right side. You hardly ever see this, actually. But they're going to go ahead and give this a shot. It's a 3v3 situation. Now that's another member down inside of Arctic Moon, and that's going to shut down the Rainmaker. And this is a terrible position for Arctic Moon to try to continue this push. And if Villa wants, they could try to hold this position for 3 minutes.
Oh my god, you're right. That was such a risky move by Arctic Moon, and they really didn't have the caliber to push with that. It was I think it was kind of like a last-minute decision to go that route. I thought they were just trying to hold it off for a bit. It doesn't look like it's the Villa, though, is going to hold it there for the next 3 minutes. They're going to bring it back down and maybe try to come up with a more original way to gain some points. Arctic Moon is going to continue this push. Hold on.
What? And they get the lead?
Ballsy! I like it!
And that's going to be a full wipe, though, on the side of Arctic Moon, but they did get the lead. And this is going to be an interesting spot for Villa to try to push from. It's going to, delay. That position's going to kind of delay it enough where Arctic Moon is going to get back in position to try to defend this. They do get a nice pick there. Make it 2, actually. This is now going to be a 3v2 situation. Arctic Moon trying to stop this Rainmaker while it's, still on below their plot there. The Ray going to be able to successfully stop that. Once again, a nice GG Ray there, but not GG quite yet, as we still have 2 minutes to play, and Viller is not going to go down without a fight. They have shown already in this game that they can make a really convincing push, and, they're ready to kind of do this again if they could get a couple more picks.
Yeah. With our grand prize at stake here, I'm assuming It's the Viller is going to come up with something big here. We do see 2 specials online for It's the Viller. They're already starting to take advantage of that here against Arctic Moon and putting on a bit of pressure here, because they're going to have to start getting things going here soon before time runs out.
Yeah. And now, once again, another 3v3 situation. Teams are, both players going to be coming back up here. Kiwi sharking this wall on the side. Now the Bomber's going to be coming out. Not going to be able to get anybody as they get shut down by the Splattershot Jr. And that's going to be 3 down on the side of It's the Villa. So now Shine picking up this Rainmaker now. They're going to just push straight ahead. And that's going to be the most effective way to put a lot of points on the board very quickly. 47 points remaining is where Arctic Moon is going to stop for now. And with 3 members going down, they're going to have to go ahead and back off and play a little bit of defense as we head into the last minute of this match.
Now they have to come up big here. We see a couple specials online for them, and they're going to have to make the most of it. Oh, a very nice cheeky kill there from Ignite. And we do see a little bit of... I think I saw some... Okay, never mind. I saw some weird movements there, but regardless, It's the Viller's going to have to fight tooth and nail to get past 47 points here, and we're going to see how that's going to go here.
Yeah, and this is probably going to be their last push, actually, with 20 seconds on the clock. This is the push that counts for Viller. They do get 1 member down, but the Ray going to be coming out trying to stop this, and they do with 2 points to spare with 10 seconds to go. That's going to be a 3rd person going down, and the Rainmaker is picked up by Arctic Moon, and they are running away with this, with the Rainmaker and the set. Arctic Moon going to be taking this 3-1, and they have a date in Grand Finals with FT Win.
That GG, right? I called it earlier, like, wow, what a great brain that was. I think that legitimately just saved them the match from going to a game 5. I don't know if they would have been able to stop those extra couple points from It's the Viller if it wasn't for that chip damage from that GG Ray. So GG Ray living up to its namesake here, and it's taking Arctic Moon to Grand Finals against the FT Win. We are in for a great matchup, people.
Yep. If for those of you that are joining us from the general convention and don't know a whole lot about the Splatoon community, FT Win is the 7-time North American champions. They are one of the best, if not the best team in Splatoon, in North America and Europe, and when you throw Japan in there, they're still a top 2, top 3 team.
We are in for a match for TGEX, guys. You do not want to miss this matchup here.
Yeah, so, but what we're going to do is, as we get these teams set up in our grand finals. We are going to take a very short break, and we do have a quick word from our sponsor. So, like we said, these teams are playing for a prize package, including Turtle Beach's new Recon 500s, which will show you a little bit of what they're about right now. Stay tuned. Alright everybody, hello and welcome back to the Splatoon 2 tournament here at Triton Gaming Expo, and we are here in Grand Finals. These teams have been duking it out for the past, 3.5 hours at this point. And here we are, there are only two teams left. We have FT Win and Arctic Moon. Arctic Moon we just saw take a very decisive 3-1 victory over It's the Villa, and they will now be going up against the North American champions in FT Win.
I just gotta say, first of all, wow. These are some of the best teams in Ludi, in North America, in pretty much the world. Just wow. I can't be any more grateful that a lot of these teams of high caliber have decided to enter our tournament and join TGEX today. And I'm sure as all of you guys must be as excited as I am to be watching these two teams duke it out for our grand prize today.
Yeah, and I mean, let's talk about that. You guys just saw that real sick ad reel for those sweet Recon 500s. That'll be part of the prize package going to the first place team here today. But of course, Turtle Beach and Rocket, amazing sponsors for this tournament, have given us all sorts of other items as well. Prize package is also going to be including their brand new Cone Pro mouse, along with some nice ELO headsets and Vulcan keyboards. So that's going to be a nice little prize package that's going to be distributed between these two teams. So really, is anybody going to be losing?
Really, DRF? No, not with these amazing sponsors. So thank you, Turtle Beach and Robcat, again for sponsoring TGEX and for helping us put on this amazing tournament, for which we're about to see some of the best teams in the Splatoon competitive community duke it out. Best of 7 grand finals. DRF, let's take a look. What about this map here? What about this map mode combo here?
Yeah, so we're gonna be going into some splat zones on the reef. This is a personal favorite of mine. It's a 2-zone map. And I believe this is only the second 2-zone map that we are seeing on stream today. So for those of you that, not necessarily part of the Splatoon community, in order to get points on the board, you need to have both zones in control. And the funny part about the reef is that both zones sit underneath a bridge, which just makes this map mode combo all the more wild.
I'm looking at the name tags here. This is pretty funny. I'm getting distracted. The bridge that you're mentioning here, DRF, is personally, I love this map mode combo too, because you have to be really smart about controlling these two zones. And the key to the zones lies within this bridge. Maintaining control of the bridge means you have a bird's eye view of both zones. So I'm curious how each of these teams, again, some of the best in the world, would approach and handling this type of map mode combo. Now let's see how this goes.
Alright, here we go. So, FT Win and Arctic Moon both coming out of the gates here, each taking about a zone apiece. But FT Win is going to get first control. And that is going to be one member down on each side. Arctic Moon is going to be able to actually get a chance to cap these zones for themselves here. And that's going to be 3 down on the side of FT Win. So Arctic Moon is going to come out of the gate swinging, actually. They want a shot at these North American champions. And they are giving it to them as they already have control of this zone and are going to about 76 points remaining. It seems like that's what they're going to have to settle for as Arctic Moon goes 2 down and FT Win going to get a shot at the zones now.
This is such a fast-paced match. I was just about to comment Cold Dude's Nautilus play, getting a quick couple kills here, but that's pretty much not at this point, because now we see 3 down on the side of Arctic Moon, and FT Win is setting up for a very strong hold against Arctic Moon here. And I'm curious how they're going to respond to this with this really aggressive pressure from FT Win. We already see the ticker going down past 50, and we see a couple specials coming out from Arctic Moon. Let's see how they're able to get back these zones.
Yeah, but they, with all those specials, they only got 1 pick. And luckily for them, that's going to be just enough to get back these zones. And that's going to be a second member down on the side of FT Win. So Arctic Moon now going to get a little bit of leeway to make something work. And we do see a jump back there from another member of FT Win. So now Arctic Moon has solid control of this bridge. However, the Rain's going to be trying to push this Nautilus around. Two people going to be trying to collapse in on this Nautilus, and the Nautilus does go down. But the Booyah Bomb going to try to avenge their partner's death here. But Arctic Moon, with two members down, are going to have to probably settle for the zone being where it's at. But no! We have to 3 down on each side. This is a 1v1 now between Twig and Kyo. What the heck? And Arctic Moon still holding on to this zone and getting another pick on that NZAP. Wow, this is an absolute bloodbath at this point. And Arctic Moon is going to be trying to get this lead with 3 members down on the side of FT Win.
Holy. Oh, this is some of the best teams in the world here. It's such high octane, very intensive play here. Arctic Moon doing a fantastic job just holding on and keeping to these zones and keeping a sharp eye on them at the end of the day. We do see, however, FT Win just able to tack on a punishment here with that extra time, with that extra penalty. And now we're going to see FT Win storming the zones here, looking to gain back some of that control they had lost against Arctic Moon.
Yeah, and they're definitely kind of, struggling here a little bit. To be quite honest, Arctic Moon gonna get back control, and that's another 3-down situation on the side of FT Win. Arctic Moon also down 3 members now, so now we're back to another 1v1 situation, which is, I mean, these teams are just getting kills left and right, and honestly, I think like a wipe is gonna be really good for either team. But it needs to be a strong wipe. Like, you need 4 members down on the other side and have at least 3 members up on your side if you're gonna run away with this game.
Yeah, such a bloodbath, back and forth, constant. Now we see Arctic Moon on the edge of on the back heel here because they're now 3 down, and FT Win has lost their penalty. And it looks like FT Win is able to prevent from Arctic Moon from finishing it off here. They regain the lead, and Arctic Moon is just a little bit too slow here to get it back. We do see a couple specials come out here, but I don't know if it's quite enough just yet.
Oh,
and it's not.
That's gonna be a knockout for FT Win, but Arctic Moon, honestly, you gotta be excited for Arctic Moon here. They hung so well with the North American champions in this game 1. They hung with them. And, for this being like a Division X team, or like a top 3 team in the world, versus a Division 1 team, you gotta be patting yourselves on the back for Arctic Moon. If you are Arctic Moon or an Arctic Moon fan, like, that was impressive play, but, we want the win. If you're Arctic Moon, you're saying we want the win. Alright, so they are now going to, have to build on that. They know they can hang with these guys. But they need a win. That's when I think the momentum's gonna start shifting.
I absolutely agree. They're hanging with the big boys here. This Arctic Moon is nothing to sneeze at, and that W from FT Win, it wasn't as decisive as you think. Knockout, we see the knockout there, but it wasn't like Arctic Moon was able to sneeze out a 20-point lead there. Knocking down their points down to 20 and holding on for the zone for that long. And putting up a really strong defense up until the very end. We are going to have some really exciting matchups. These games are going to be close. They're going to be to the wire. We are going to see some really hyped matches here. I think this is going to go past Game 4. That's what I think is happening. I
really hope so. I mean, FT Win, though, they're a pretty strong team. So they are known for just demolishing teams and having no regrets about it. They will literally just, body slam you to the ground, and like I don't even know. They always have just a lot of flair in when they play. They do play very a lot of kind of showing off and whatnot, and that's their style. Like, you really can't get mad about that. Like, FT Win delivers.
Yeah, when they deliver, like, you could probably stand up and say, I've gotten beaten up by FT-Win. Or honestly, I can
Yeah,
say that about Arctic Moon too. I've been proudly beaten up by
dude,
Arctic Moon.
that's a badge of honor.
And we're gonna see now we're here on Black Belly Rainmaker, a very, very scary map here because it's just like Manta Murillo that we saw in the Swiss stage. It's a very punishing map. If you get a couple, if you get even a couple down here, the opposing team can quickly and efficiently punish you because of how quickly you're able to just run with the Rainmaker on this map.
Yeah, and I do want to point out here that this map is so nice for sloshers. So here you see Kyo rocking that tri-slosher Navo, which is going to be coming with that Splat Bomb Rain combo, and this is just so effective on Black Belly Skate Park, as it just works so nicely throwing ink over the slanted edges, all those different humps, and we already saw a little bit there, but FT Win is continuing this push. They already got to 49 points remaining. The Ray coming out to try to stop this push, and they successfully do so. Also, that's a full wipe actually on the side of FT Win at this point. So now it's going to be Arctic Moon picking up this Rainmaker, and they're going to be looking to put some points on the board. They are wasting no time at all. The Booyah Bomb going to be coming out, trying to push some of the members of FT Win around, and Arctic Moon is going to actually look for the lead here, but the Ray's going to be coming out, and it's going to shut it down, but took a little while there actually. Wow. But once again, a very close matchup in the first minute and a half.
Arctic Moon, when they got that wipe, they moved in like a unit. Like with this overhead map here, I don't know, you could quickly see them effectively move in a line and effectively get to where they need to be and where they wanted to go so quickly. It's just that, again, both teams are rocking the dual squelcher here with this GG right here, and that's going to be the big punisher on defense for both of these teams, and we're probably going to have to see whoever plays the better
Stingray game, really.
duels off.
Yeah, like it's really gonna be whoever plays this the better Stingray game. I feel is gonna win this game, because right now this score is very close. FT Window already looking to kind of, get another push going. They did bring out the Stingray actually for an offensive, to help with their offensive push here rather than on the defensive end, and they get one pick with it on the junior, I believe. They are going to be putting some more points on the board, but I don't think it's going to be much. There it is, now bringing it down to 35 points remaining, adding about 14 more points to the board. I think that's pretty respectable. But now Arctic Moon gonna be able to stop this push actually, and the kind of unfortunate thing here with Black Belly is that you can't reset this Rainmaker, you have to wait it out. So they need to babysit this, because if they don't really babysit this, FT Win's gonna kind of slide in and grab it, and luckily there it is, there's that Rainmaker reset.
You're right to point that out, DRF, because this is a very slippery map with all those slopes. Players can easily just sneak in and take the Rainmaker if you're not watching it carefully. It's a grave mistake that a lot of people make. I've made it before myself. Not to humble brag or anything, but good point to bring that up, because that's wasted time there when they could be moving up and taking the objective or regaining mid control, and that's precious time and players' energy babysitting it.
Yeah. But now Arctic Moon gonna be picking up this Rainmaker. They do have two members down the side of FT Win, but unfortunately they don't really have the positioning quite yet to make this push effective. The Booyah Bomb gonna be coming out and trying to get something. It looks like it's gonna be trying to clear the way, but unfortunately does not get any hits. The Stingray gonna be coming out, and it's gonna try to shut down this Rainmaker, but it looks like Twig with this Brella is gonna be jumping back and then jumping back in to better establish their position. Arctic Moon still trying to hold their position in mid here and try to get another push going, and here it goes. Two members down the side of FT Win, two members down the side of Arctic Moon as well. I see a DC. I see a DC. No, that is Kyo, I believe, that DC'd, and Kyo is just a phenomenal tri-slosher player, or just slosher player in general. I do know that they try to play Soda as well. And this is gonna be Arctic Moon's game to, try to take back. FT Win's gonna have to put together the defensive effort of their lives at this point to hold onto this win, and with three members down the side of Arctic Moon, they're looking good right now.
God, this happened probably just at the right time, because Arctic Moon could have rather quickly just run that Rainmaker right in, but FT Win putting out a lot of paint pressure just long enough to make sure that they can get the Rainmaker set. And even with these DC and this GG Ray, I think this is going to belong to FT Win despite that last second DC.
There it
There
is.
you have it. That must have been a bit scary for FT Win there. I'm really unfortunate. That's very scary for them that happened there. Oof.
Yeah, honestly, but I mean, it's FT Win was in, like you said, they were in a great position at the time that happened. If you were gonna DC, obviously you don't want that to happen, but if you were gonna DC, that happened at the exact right time when they already had a solid lead and they were in a really good spot to put together a defensive effort and build up those specials, bring out those stingrays, and really just shut down Arctic Moon. And they didn't even have a chance even in that 4v3.
Yeah, I wouldn't say they really lost that. Arctic Moon didn't really lose a game to a 3v4 there because
Yeah.
that push was going to go either way, and FT Win put up again a solid defense. All I saw was purple ink during that last second push. So I wouldn't say they would lose that 3v4 per se, but still a pretty disheartening loss to say the least. And now FT Win is up 2-0. We still have a couple more games in store for you guys, but Arctic Moon is going to have to come up with something big here, and maybe TC Anchovy might be that chance.
Yeah. So, for game 3 though, we are going to be heading into tower control on Anchovy Games. So this is, I believe we saw this in round 1 or round 2. And this one's kind of a tricky map mode, in the sense that it tends to be, very low scoring out of the gate. And you really need a couple of solid picks in order to break out and put some major points on the board.
I agree. This is a very... your team needs to be very united here. Mm-hmm. Those couple picks, and you're going to need a whole lot of special coordination here in order to push back your enemy and get that tower through, because it's very difficult to make a clear path for it on this map, personally, unless you have really good special coordination and you get some really solid picks on your end. So I'm curious how both of these teams are going to use their specials and use their weapons to make those opportunities happen.
Yeah. And here we see FT Win rocking a little bit more of a traditional comp as opposed to Arctic Moon. Arctic Moon is playing very, very much midline, with that Squiffer Gal Nautilus combo. So definitely a little bit interesting to see here. But Arctic Moon is already 3 members down, and FT Win is going to be riding through this first checkpoint unchallenged. So there are those few picks that we were talking about. FT Win now going to be bursting through the gates, and they are going to be able to get to the second checkpoint and probably even through the second checkpoint right now.
Right, and I want to point out not only the couple picks that they had, and that it looked like a staggered wipe earlier, but some great special coordination here. We saw both an ink armor and an inkjet coming out on the side of FT Win to really put some pressure on Arctic Moon, and it worked out really well. Unfortunately, now the push is kind of stalled a bit, but we still see Kyo running around and all up in Arctic Moon's face here, still helping make some room for this push to continue.
Yeah, and Kyo with that tri-slosh. I mean, as a tri-slosher player myself, this is like the best tri-slosher play that you could probably get. Masterfully sharking and just getting the kills when the other team least expects it. But ShineX going to be getting a nice pick there on the Nautilus as they come back from their Inkjet. So now the hammer coming out from ShineX, but they're going to be holding on to it this entire time, actually. They're going to get about two smacks of the hammer. They're going to toss it. Not sure if that was their most effective use, but of the time that they had with it. But it is what it is. You need to be able to be smart with the special as well.
Holding off just to help his teammates there too. So it might not seem effective at the time, but he was also doubling back to check on his teammates to make sure that they were handling a problem okay. But you rightfully point out it might have not been the most effective use of that time, because who knows, maybe the stamp would be pretty nice right now as FT Win is once again making yet another push.
Yeah, and like even the splash walls. Like Arctic Moon is throwing down these splash walls and they're just obliterating through them so quickly. Just a coordinated team effort. But that is going to be now a 2v2 situation at this point, and Twig going to be waiting for this Inkjet to come back down and be able to get a nice easy pick there. Luckily for Arctic Moon, they only lost another point on the board. However, they need a push with 33 points remaining for FT Win. That's a game-winning push right there. And so now Arctic Moon's gonna have 2 minutes to respond to that. But with 2 members down, make it 3 and possibly a wipe here. But no, Cool Dude with a nice double, bringing out the Inkjet at just the right time and forcing a jump back. Arctic, I mean that saved their positioning.
That could have ended up so much work. What a fantastic play by Cool Dude. Some really nice inkjet work that I'm incredibly jealous of, and some really nice clean picks that's what Arctic Moon needed. Now we have to see them continue that effort going forward as they attempt to make a push here, but they already go 3 down, and there's only a minute left, and FT Win is already chugging that tower along. We're gonna have to see some really strong defense here from Arctic Moon to stop the damage here.
Yeah, FT Win is hungry for more. They are not gonna settle for they're not settling for no 33 points remaining. They want to try to get this as close to a knockout as possible. Ice gonna be bringing out the Booyah Bomb. Gonna be throwing it right next to the tower, you know, stopping anybody that's gonna be trying to immediately take over that spot. And trying to get the Squiffer as well, but unfortunately that's gonna be 2v1 against Ice. So a great job from Arctic Moon there to get 3 members down on the side of FT Win, and that's going to be a wipe actually. So Arctic Moon with 20 seconds to go are going to need to ride this about 3/4 of the way through the map if they want to get the win.
This is going to be a very intense push, because this is probably the only one and the only time that they have to make it here. Twig already using the Booyah there, which I'm questioning at the moment, because that could have been again, another effective use maybe on the tower when there's a lot of pressure on it later on. So far, the tower's uncontested, but the tent does go down, so that is a bit worrisome here. And we do see a Booyah on the side of FT Win. That's going to stall the push a bit. We see another Booyah, and that's the game, just like that. Lots of Booyahs. I just saw like 3 Booyahs in a row.
Yeah, the Booyahs came out in full force there to end the game from both teams. Arctic Moon using him to try to stay alive, but FT Win using it very effectively to take a commanding 3-0 lead here in Grand Finals. Now, Grand Finals is a best of 7, so this is match point for FT Win. If they take this, they go home with our amazing prizing sponsored by Turtle Beach and Rock Hat, featuring those new Recon 500s. So, I mean, the FT Wins could smell it. They could smell it.
Yeah, they're rubbing their hands together. They're excited. I could tell. Like they're riding on a lot of momentum right now, and Arctic Moon is gonna have to completely shut this down here in a very intense match of Clam Blitz Humpback Pump Track. Try saying that fast.
Yep. And this is a little bit tricky for Arctic Moon now, because this is gonna really cater to FT Win's comp. I think this has FT Win's comp written all over it.
I will argue though that Chinex's 10 tier might be very of use here.
That is
I
true
will
as
argue
well.
at that. I will argue that though. I think they'll be very useful here, coming in and making lots of distraction, making lots of plays, and I'll give opportunities for Cool Dude and Twig to make some moves by the basket and potentially get something going there. However, you do also have a point. This reeks of FT Win just running around all over causing chaos. So
Yeah.
This is going to be a very high octane match, very chaotic match. Let's see what happens.
Here we go. This is game number 4 of our grand finals here at Triton Gaming Expo. FT Win is up 3-0, and they need this game for the win. Arctic Moon needs it to stay alive. Here we go. This match could be over in literally a minute, or they could draw this out for a good while. We'll see which way this goes, but it does seem like a lot of the comps are going to be pretty similar to what we have been seeing.
This is where I was talking about the tent. Look at the tent already. Sorry to interrupt, but look, I just have to point out that pressure that the tent puts on, because now Ice has to quickly divert his attention away before popping the Stingray. That matters, because look, now they're 2 down.
Yeah, no, and thank you for interrupting me on that, because that is a very good point there. And unfortunately, neither team really has much clams to their name quite yet. Clam Economy a little bit scarce, as Arctic Moon is starting to pick up a few more clams here. They do have enough to kind of get a push going, but now they need the picks to back it up. And as I say that is going to be 2 down on the side of Arctic Moon. And FT Win now running and trying to take advantage of this moment. Kyo going to be throwing clams to try to set up a teammate to get a power clam here, but the splash wall going to be coming in at great timing to try to slow this down, but it's not going to stop Bursty from throwing in their first power clam.
And this is where it gets scary here, because you can either stop it right here, right now, or you're going to see FT Win throw in a bunch of clams and just ruin Arctic Moon's day here. We do see a really nice stop here with only just a ball and a clam on the side of FT Win. And now we're going to see a pity clam on the side of Arctic Moon. This is where they might be able to take advantage of this defensive hold here and convert it into an offensive push.
Yeah, but if you're looking at that map right now, that's a lot of green. FT Win has so much map control right now, it's like not even funny at this point. And Arctic Moon is, needs to get some more ink on the map rather than trying to work with the little bit of ink that they do have. But look, just Cool Dude with that Nautilus getting pressured so hard, like pretty far into their own side of the map. And now we see an Inkjet duel coming out, but no, the Inkjet does get shut down, and Bursty with another power clam. They're going to be trying to get close to the basket so they can dunk this one in. However, Arctic Moon doing a great job of trying to just keep Bursty away as long as possible. But that's 3 members down, so now Bursty's going to get a free shot at this basket. And that's a wipe on the side of Arctic Moon, and here comes the flurry of clams.
Oh my lord, this paint control is just a deal breaker for Arctic Moon right now. And we see the Stingray coming out, causing Arctic Moon to scramble right now. We see a couple members go down on each side here, and it's going to stop at 32 here for FT Win. That could have been a lot scarier for Arctic Moon, and thank goodness they were able to come that to a halt.
Yeah, absolutely. And now Arctic Moon, as the further this game ticks along, the worse in a position they are in, because they need as much time as possible to try to stay alive in this tournament, in this grand final set. But that was 3 down yet again on the side of Arctic Moon, and they have no clams to their name. They do have 1 power clam, but it is going to expire here in a second if Cool Dude can't pick it up, but luckily they do. So now it's a 3v2 advantage for Arctic Moon. However, with the 2 remaining members on the side of FT Win, they were putting a lot of pressure on, and even with a numbers advantage, Arctic Moon is stuck in their base.
This is a very chaotic match here, coming from both teams, and FT Win is just leaving Arctic Moon no opportunity to even get back mid control. We already see lots of pretty much a staggered response here from Arctic Moon, and time is running out for them. They have just a little less than a minute to come up with a big push here, and they might have just lost their pity clam here with this play from Biscuit.
And Biscuit does go down, but not before trading with that Brella. And that is an absolutely huge trade there. Because at this point, FT Win, they just need to play 30 more seconds of defense, and any trades go in their favor. Ice now gonna bring out the Stingray and gets 2 picks! I think that was a 1 pick plus the assist, and now they're gonna be holding on to this power clam in Arctic Moon's base. They don't need it, they're 3 clams away!
Playing the clam economy. What a great map to have, because some maps you can't manipulate the economy like this. You see Bursty just throwing clams off to not give Arctic Moon that chance. And even though 3 went down on the side of FT Win, they don't have the. They just. I thought they wouldn't be able to make it.
They got it. They got the power clam.
Great teamwork on the side of Arctic Moon. I thought they weren't able to get that power clam together. Now they
Yeah.
only have to. They have just a little bit of time here to get that in, but they're running out. Overtime is only for 20 ticks.
And
But
with
it's just the Nautilus alive here, hanging on by a thread, but the pity clam expires, and there it is, folks. FT Win takes it 4-0 against Arctic Moon here at TGEX.
Yep. Wow. Wow. That was just a phenomenal set. I mean, Arctic Moon, let me start with them. So much credit to Arctic Moon for putting up one hell of a fight against FT Win, the North American champions, the 7-time North American champions. You know, I wouldn't be too upset if I was Arctic Moon. Like this was a really stacked tournament with so many great teams, and you know, to get to finals and to get knocked around a little bit by FT Win. I mean, they really only got knocked out. I think it was once, right?
Once or twice, I believe.
Yeah. So it was.
But
I mean, it was still. Yeah, I believe you are correct. It should have been twice. Because they even though that Splat Zones game in game one was still really close, even though they did get knocked out.
right, exactly. Regardless of FT Win sweep, both teams played phenomenal matches here at TGX, and those were some stellar matches. Like I'm gonna have to go and rewatch this and again take some more notes from these teams because FT Win you don't see them play often much anymore, given the team state. But I'm really appreciative that both Arctic Moon, FT Win, and the rest of the Splatoon community came out to play here at TGX, and wow, they all played some amazing matches today, and I couldn't be more excited for this.
Yeah. So once again, congratulations to FT Win. I think this might have been their first tournament back in full force since Squid House back in December, but I might be wrong on that. But if not, then it's definitely, one of the few times they played in the past 6 months. So they came back and they hit their stride. They're back to exactly where they had left off. And they are going to be taking home a nice prize package from Turtle Beach and Rockhat, featuring those new Recon 500 headsets, along with some Vulcan keyboards. But Arctic Moon not going away empty-handed. They're getting some nice ELO headsets and Cone Pro mice, courtesy of Rockhat. So I think both these teams could be pretty satisfied.
Would be if I got those prizes. I wish I was that good to win those. Congrats again to Arctic Moon and FT Win. You guys played amazing. Round of applause to both of you.
All right. But we're going to go ahead and start to wrap this up here. But I just want to give a few quick shout outs. So, once again, thank you to our sponsors, Total Beach and Rockhat. You guys are so greatly appreciated. A huge shout out to the CCA, the Collegiate Cephalopod Association, for helping us to host this event. And Train Splatoon, the UCSD Splatoon Club, has also put in so much work as well. And just thank you to Adam, Kira, Magic, Starbit, Fizzywits, all the CCA staff for continuing to work behind the scenes on this. Thank you, Mizuno, for joining me here today. It has been an absolute pleasure commentating with you. And thank you to Fishy and Stitch for commentating over on the CCA stream for our Swiss rounds.
Thank you all. And to last bit, thank you all to our lovely spectators for joining us today at TGEX. Thank you all.
Yeah, so that is going to do it for us today. And, this is kind of just a kind of bittersweet moment for me as well, since this is basically my last event with the UCSD Triton Splatoon Club. So it has been an absolute pleasure to help get the collegiate scene kind of off the ground a little bit, and for it to kind of all culminate into just this final TGX tournament. This truly means a lot. So thank you everybody. But before we get going, Mizuno, where can the people of our chat find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter and Twitch, MIZU_N0. That's with a 0, not a letter O, because I like to be unique like that. Hey, DRF, where can people find you?
Twitter at DRF_Splatoon or on Twitch at TritonDRF. So that is where you can find me doing all sorts of Splatoon streams and whatnot. But thank you all once again. But we are going to go ahead and wrap it up now. After this, stick around for the intermission orchestra. They're going to be showcasing a video of one of their amazing performances. They do all sorts of anime and video game musics. So please stick around for that and enjoy the rest of Triton Gaming Expo. Thank you all so much.